What's up, family? Welcome back, man. It's your boys from apuffaminute coming at you on another Saturday, fine Saturday from lovely Las Vegas. You know, weather is beautiful, and it's time for another Cigars and Conversations. I'm your host, Cigar Mick, and this is your other host.
It's Cigar Banker. What's good, people?
That's what's happening, y'all. So check it out, y'all. You know how we get started, man. We don't even know what we're going to talk about because we never know what we're going to talk about until we sit down and turn the camera on. But one thing we do know is before we start talking, we got to always mention what we smoking.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So tell us what you're rocking with first, bro.
Yeah, so man, I had this special release from H. Upman. They did a combo pack with AJ Fernandez. AJ actually blended this for H. Upman. He does this for a lot of people, but this one actually is co-branded H. Upman, AJ Fernandez, and it's typical AJ, man. The blend is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we talking a Sumatra wrapper with Nicaraguan fillers. This thing is just a beautiful smoke, man. I'm enjoying it so far. I've had this before. We had the opportunity to get this at TPE.
Yeah.
So a couple years, almost 2 years ago now, shoot.
Exactly.
But definitely a good smoke, man. Worth trying if you can find it, but it's getting harder and harder to find.
You can never really go wrong with anything that's blended by AJ Fernandez, man. He's like a master of master blenders. You feel me? So yeah, AJ is definitely my man. I'm gonna talk about another master of master blenders, man, because what I got right here today, in case y'all didn't know, today is National Cigar Day. So happy National Cigar Day. Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to do something a little special today for myself, man, because I don't really smoke these a lot. But this is that Fuente Opus X, okay? And the master blender I'm talking about is Carlito, right? You know, Carlos Fuente Jr., they call him Carlito, and he blended this one. And what he did, man, so this cigar, man, what makes it so special, man, is all about this Corojo wrapper, right? So he was one of the first, man, to take Cuban seeds, take them down to the Dominican Republic, right, and see if they can grow wrapper down there. And this is the result, man. It's wonderful, oily, beautiful Corojo wrapper, man. That's what makes the Opus X so special. I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of places, man, they really turn it up when it comes to pricing these joints.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a steakhouse right here in Las Vegas where this Toro, bro, right, would run you $100 a stick.
Wow.
They don't really cost that much. That's the crazy. Now, these joints, man, realistically, I think suggested retail on this is probably about $16, $17.
It is.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, people be like, you know, definitely gouging on the Opus X because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, you know, green cigar smokers don't know, and they see that, and they buy labels, man, like everything else, you know. Yeah. But definitely it's a good smoke. It's medium bodied, I say. And you know, definitely worth it, man. So happy National Cigar Day. And we both pairing that today with a little bit of what did I pour in this glass, bro?
I think we got Woodford.
We got some Woodford going right now, guys, as a pairing. Always a great Kentucky bourbon, man, for every occasion. I got a little bit of Stella to chase with.
That Carlsberg.
And he's still chasing it with that Carlsberg, y'all. So, you know, I think Cigar Baker is on something with the Carlsberg.
You'll never buy Heineken again if you drink this.
There you go, man. So, bro, man, what's been good, man? It's been a good week. You know what I'm saying? It's been a busy week. I might sound a little bit hoarse right now, man, because I've been running so hard.
But we've been working, man. We've been building. We're gonna talk about it at the end. But we've been working. We've been building. You know, last Sunday we was at the event over at Cork and Thorn with all the syndicate. You know, we was doing the coalition. We was all there doing our thing, man. It was a good look, a good time, and we just been running ever since, bro. Trying to make this thing happen, and you know, making a real cigar culture here in Vegas. So
exactly, man. And I'm so excited about what's on the horizon for Las Vegas as it pertains to the cigar culture. You know, you got all of these cities across the country, man, that keep having their cigar weeks and cigar weekends and all of that. But come on, let's be honest, bro. Can't nobody throw a party like Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? When you come to Las Vegas, y'all expect a whole nother level, right? So I'm trying to tell you, you want to follow apuffaminute. You want to keep checking back with us to find out everything that's going to be going on during Cigar Week in April. Right, because we're gonna be your plug, right? There you go. Apuffaminute is the plug, man. Yeah, we gotta make that T-shirt. I like that shit.
Apuffaminute is the plug.
Apuffaminute is the plug, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna keep y'all abreast of everything that's going on in this fine city of ours.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, we'll get to the shout outs at the end. But hey, man, something that's been going on during this pandemic period, and you know, just in general, is, you know, movies have gotten different, right? And the way movies are being released, movies movies that are coming out have subject matters that may not have been so popular when the movie theaters were actually open and you could go to a movie. So maybe the way they're being released now is, you know, is a good thing for a lot of these different topics and things. But, you know, some of the things that we've been watching in particular, we talked a little bit about, you know, the new Denzel movie, The Little Things, but there's been so many black actors, producers, directors just making movies that make you really think about what's going on in today's world socially and about our history. And, you know, one we was talking about in particular was Judas and the Black Messiah, right?
Judas and the Black Messiah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. After watching that movie, you know, it disturbed my sleep, man, for days on end afterwards, right? Not because, you know, I wasn't familiar with the history, right, of Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party and all of that type of stuff, man. But, I mean, the way that the movie was put together, and, you know, and with it being told from the perspective of Bill O'Neill, right, it was crazy, man. So what really hit me hard, man, was the fact that this young brother was only like 17, 18 years old when, you know what I'm saying, when he was really like doing his thing. And for him to be that powerful, that intelligent, man, and that dedicated to his cause, it really made me, as an older brother now, right, it almost brought me to shame. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I remember the fervor. I remember the energy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love the movement like Black Lives Matter, because it's the young people that's out there that's leading it. You know? And I remember when I was young, you felt bulletproof. You felt like nothing could stop you. When you get a little bit older, you know, that's when you start thinking about, well, I got a family. You know, I can't afford to jeopardize my source of income. You know, and all of those type of things. But when you young and you got nothing to lose, man, you know, that's when you could really be dangerous. That's when you could really affect change. Think about it. Martin Luther King was like, what, 24, I think? Something like that.
With a doctorate.
With a doctorate. You know, so it was the young people, man, that was really out here doing it. It's sad. It was a sad story all the way around, because I felt like Bill O'Neill was trapped, you know, by the fact that, you know, and again, I don't know if you saw it yet, but he was like a young car thief. He got caught stealing cars, and the FBI recruited him to infiltrate, you know, the Black Panthers. So he was the Judas, you know what I'm saying? He was. And years later, there was a documentary out, Eyes on the Prize, and they interviewed Bill O'Neill. You know, they interviewed him. And during that interview, he was like, he said, well, you know, at least I did something. You know, he kind of felt like he was, you know, in his own mind, he tried to justify. Remember I said, when you justify, you just the lying to yourself? He was trying to justify his actions. He never knew that they were going to go in there and murder, right? And I use that term powerfully. Murder Fred Hampton in his sleep. He didn't know that they was going to do that. He thought they was going to arrest him or what have you. But they killed him. And but when it aired, when that episode aired, here's the piece that a lot of people don't know. When it came on national TV, and he was over by his uncle's house, and he watched that episode, he ran right out of that apartment in Chicago, ran right into oncoming traffic and committed suicide.
Wow.
Yeah. So he never really was able to get past his part in the murder of Fred Hampton. That's some deep stuff right there, bro.
And you can't call it anything else but murder. You break into someone's home 2, 3 in the morning, everybody's sleeping in the house, and you shoot them in the head, like.
But they drugged him first. So they had Bill O'Neill put some drugs in Fred's drink. Fred didn't drink. Fred didn't smoke none of that stuff. He put something in his drink so he couldn't wake up. That's why he was, while everybody else was jumping around and trying to run and getting shots, he just laid there. They were trying to wake him up. They couldn't wake him up.
Wow.
His girl was trying to wake him up. She's still carrying on the mission. Right today, and his son, Fred Hampton Jr. So
And you know, the cool thing, man, is we had the benefit of being with some brothers in the 100 Black Men who were from Oakland, who were in Oakland during that time, who were educated brothers that actually were part of the movement in different ways, you know, that were able to be a part of that. And it was cool to hear from firsthand experience about brothers that was there and that saw the energy, saw what was going on, and were trying to do their own part. They were teachers, educators. I think about Brother Joe Jones off the top of my head. He was a teacher, educator, went on to corporate America and did his thing, everything. But you know, it's good to hear those stories, and it's like you said, the way they're doing it right now, I think it's prime time to get these stories out and get this information out to the people. And
how many people know that Huey Newton was a doctor? That he had a PhD in social science. How many people know that?
Not many people know that.
Again, the way that we tell history in America is we tell his story. You feel me? So the truth of it never really comes out, you know? So yeah, I agree with you.
And we always hear the FBI side of the story when it comes to the Black Panther, right? They were a militant group. They were racist. They were trying to take over. And in actuality, they were less than 1,000 members in the Black Panther at their peak. And you're saying they were going to take over the country. This was public enemy number one. Less than, but I say that, and Malcolm X was public enemy number one as one man. As one man, even after he had not separated from the Nation of Islam, but kind of took his own path.
All handled the same way.
Yeah.
COINTELPRO, bro.
Yeah.
All handled the same way. So yes.
But I think it's an apt time for these type of films to come out, man. And it makes me think of another movie that I just watched, was American Skin.
Okay.
So the brother that was in, what's the name of the movie? Oh, shoot. Now I can't think of it now. But anyway, American Skin, man, it gave a new light on the Black Lives Matter movement, right? So a lot of things that was a catalyst for this was young teens or young men, young black men being killed in cold blood for one reason or another. I think Trayvon was probably one of the first, you know, to kind of set it off. But it was a similar story, right? But it actually was the police that murdered this man's son. So the son, he had been watching some content online, started reading, learning more about his history. He started to become, I guess, what you would call militant in a way. He wanted to stand up for himself, be a young
conscious.
a young, but they call him militant. When we wake up, they call us militant, right? So when he woke up, he decided to follow his path that he thought was appropriate. You know, he gets into this incident where the police pulled him and his father over, saying his father was speeding. A bunch of stuff takes place. Ends up, young man gets killed by a police officer in this incident. But it ended up turning into a situation where the father he couldn't let it go. And his response was to break into the police station. I don't want to give away too much, but break into the police station, take over the police station, and a bunch of stuff happens. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. But it was a whole new take on the Black Lives Matter movement and what was the catalyst for a lot of these things that we see with the Black Lives Matter movement. And the one thing I always say is, right, the people got mad about the people in Black Lives riot. They called it a riot, but it wasn't a riot. But when you leave people no choice, even Martin Luther King said this, a riot is what happens when you leave people with no other choice. They're angry, they're mad, they're upset, they have no other choice. And until you wake up and pay attention to what they're saying, this is what they're going to do. And it took the riot to a whole nother level to say a man came in and took over a police station. But that's what he felt like he needed to do. He had a military background, served his time, he went on tours, all that stuff, man, and here he is, he got to come back to America and have his son killed, teenage son killed by the police. So it took him on a whole nother path, but the movie is amazing, man. And I love the perspective they put on it from the Black Lives Matter movement, that when you talk about jury trials, when you talk about why a lot of these guys are not convicted, not just police officers. When you think about the Trayvon case and George Zimmerman, these guys are not convicted. They're not sent to prison. It's not called murder. It's called self-defense and all these other things. I'm in the line of duty. I was scared. And it's like, you get that perspective, but it's like, he didn't deserve to lose his life. There's nothing you can say to most people.
I see you reaching for your 9mm wallet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The boy had his cell phone. He was recording them. And that's the thing of the young people now. Everybody gets their cell phone out and records. I come from, I'm a still younger guy, but I come from where my parents taught me that the police pull you over, you follow every command. You need to come back home. That was the end of the goal. Come back home. And now these kids, they pulling out their cell phone. They being defiant, but they awoke. They know their rights. They know what they're able to do, what they're not able to do, and they're using those rights.
That's right. And as soon as they start using those rights, is when the laws change. Right. So again, you're chasing a moving target. When it's not the same playing field to begin with. But when you start catching up a little bit, the goal line is moving. That's what happened with Huey, right? He's like, oh, wait a minute, we can carry long weapons. We can carry, rifles and all of that type of stuff in public. There's no ordinance against it. Once they started doing that, when they showed up at City Hall, then the laws changed. right? So again, it's always gonna be something, man.
And it's funny you say that because you know a movement, organization, whatever you want to call it, the Proud Boys, they show up to everything with weapons, armed to the teeth, right?
Yeah.
At everything they go to. And then there was a black group, I can't remember the name of it, I'm remiss, but they were building down in the southeast, North Carolina, Atlanta. They was building chapters, and they started doing the same thing. And guess what happened? Every time they showed up, the police showed up.
Right.
The police said, "What are you doing here with your weapons out? Why do you have your weapons? Do you have a legal right to carry those weapons?"
Right.
They got the same rifles the Proud Boys had.
See, when a black man has it, it's called a weapon. When the Proud Boys got it, it's called a firearm. You see what I'm saying? It's self-defense versus, somebody who's trying to attack something. Again, these are the narratives that we have to learn to have to deal with from day to day. In this whole story about, black lives not mattering in the, and what have you, this is a very, very old story. It's new to greater America right now. But again, before Trayvon, bro, you know what I'm saying? There was
plenty of stories.
What's his name, man? I can't think of his name right now. On Jet Magazine with his mama, down in the South, man, when they tied him. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Emmett Till.
Emmett Till. I was gonna say Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Emmett Till. Before Trayvon, it was Emmett Till.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before Emmett Till, there was others. At the end of the day, bro, it's a shame when a young, right, and I stress the word young, black man is looked upon as a threat. Without any weapons, right? Without any, just for simply the way you look at somebody, or just simply, like you said, the skin that you in.
Yeah.
Right? That in and of itself could equate to a death sentence.
Yeah, and it's a sad thing. And it was funny because in the movie in American Skin, I say funny, but you make a good point because in the movie American Skin, the father breaks in on the son. He's having a conversation with one of his friends, and he has to tell him like, "Hey, you have to understand, you are a black young man before anything else. When you get stopped by the police, that's what you are. So you need to understand that before you start talking about I have this right and I have that right, because those same rights that they talking about may not apply to you." And he had a real conversation with his son, and it's sad that we have to talk to our children that way. You have a son, I don't have sons, but I have kids that I got to worry about. My daughters in the same situation, but it's sad that we have to have these conversations. And like you said, right now it's one-sided because we keeping it within our households and we talking to our children, but we need other people to be understanding of this as well. So when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying other people don't matter. We're not saying you as a white person, Hispanic or whatever don't matter. What we're saying is we're proud of who we are, and we want you to see us for who we are, and that's it.
So that brings me to the disclaimer portion of the show, right? Because I can see it right now, Ted. There's going to be a lot of folks out there that's going to misconstrue what we're talking about here today. And again, guys, we told you from the beginning, we had no idea what the discussion was going to be until we sat down. But I'm glad that it went in this direction. But people are going to paint us as, oh, these guys are, anti-police or, so on and so forth or what have you. That's not the case at all, man. You know what I'm saying? We believe in justice and we stand for justice for all people, right? The problem is justice has not always been there for all people, right? So I heard a comedian say, because what a lot of folks will say is, all police ain't bad, and I agree with that. Right? He said, well, we just got a few bad apples, right? I think it was Chris Rock that said, in some careers, you can't afford to have any bad apples, right? In some careers, everybody got to be good. And policing is one of those careers, man. You don't want to get on an airplane, right, with a pilot who's a bad apple. Right? You'd be like, well, we need to land this plane, but I'm gonna crash into this mountain because he's a bad apple. Right? And kill everybody on board. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Justice for all means just that, justice for all, right? That hasn't been the case, man. I'm glad that we took this direction today, man, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people don't like to hear anything that has to do with Black Lives Matters, or some of us are very supportive of it, some of us are not so supportive of it. But at the end of the day, man, in case y'all hadn't noticed, all right, we black. So it does have a soft spot in our hearts, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, like you said, I got sons. I got daughters. He's got daughters, man. We got a whole nother generation of people who are growing up right now who don't know if they're going to make it home from day to day, right? And that needs to change. People need to feel safe in their community.
But I'll say this too, bro. I was like, when it goes with all this stuff that's going on about being conscious, being woke, whatever you want to call it, I always feel like you got to pick your lane, right? So we talk about justice for all. Yeah. We're talking about, we've picked our paths, right? Yeah. We're entrepreneurs, we're mentors. Yeah. We've done so many things, coaching, to leadership development, to try to grow people to be the best person they can be, right? So, and we picked our lanes. I know mine is small business all day or every day. Yeah. You hear me talk about anything, I'm going to talk about growth of small business, leaving a legacy for your family. That's always going to be my focus. So I feel like we need to all figure out, okay, what's our lane? Where can we benefit? I may not be the dude out here marching on the street, but guaranteed I'm doing my work on the back end. Agree. So, and we all got to serve our part. We all got to know where we play in this whole development of us being conscious and building a community for ourselves and really taking care of ourselves. Mm-hmm. Taking care of ourselves.
That's powerful, bro. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Shout out to the coalition, because we already doing it, man.
Yeah, let's go ahead and shout them out, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's shout them out. So, again, man, we started off talking about, our main family. Mm-hmm. Right? Our family here in Las Vegas in the cigar culture is the Syndicate. We definitely want to shout out the Syndicate, man. You know what I'm saying? That is Ashing Out Cigar Group. That's the Badass Mobile Cigar Lounge, our people, right? Sin City Cigars, and of course you got the Apuffaminute that's in there. And that's the Syndicate, man. We're so proud of the Syndicate, man, and the things that we do. Then we have some extended family, y'all. We got some cousins out here, right? We got some cousins that we get together with, we do some events with and everything, and that's going to be your cigar gurus in the coalition.
Yep. Shout out to the gurus.
Shout out to the gurus. Shout out to CDL Cigar Group,
yep.
That's out here as well, right? And shout out, man, I got to say, bro, shout out to Sugar Daddy Cigar Lounge.
Man, I don't know if we can make it big enough. We need like fireworks going off in the back when you say Sugar Daddies, bro. I'm so proud of them dudes, man.
Yeah. The only black-owned cigar lounge, not in the city of Las Vegas, y'all, in the state of Nevada, right? The only black-owned cigar lounge. We had the opportunity to go Thursday night, right, and do comedy night. That was pretty good. That was all right, you know what I'm saying? But I went last night for Old School Friday.
Yeah.
Bro.
Shut it down.
Talk about tearing the roof off it. Hey, you remember that scene, bro? I need to post this. You remember that scene in
One Night in Miami?
One Night in Miami?
Yeah, Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke was in Boston and the power went out. And he kept the people going like,
yeah.
Right? And he kept the people going, right? So last night at Sugar Daddy's, man, this is brother, man. Y'all need to go Google Jubu, J-U-B-U, right? Jubu, right now he tours with, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. He actually used to work with Tony. He actually wrote the song Anniversary for Tony. So shutting it down last night, this is the last thing. He actually sat in with Uncle and the nephews last night, man, which is a local band that's always shutting down here in Las Vegas. He sat in with them, and at the end, he was performing Anniversary.
Yeah.
Why all the power would go out? All the power went out. And you know what? People did not skip a beat.
Yeah.
People grabbed their cell phones and threw lights on the stage, right? It was awesome. All you had was the acoustics, man. You had the drums and you had the saxophone. And the help of all the audience, bro. Yeah. We got through that, bro. It was a beautiful moment, bro.
Yeah.
Sugar Daddy Cigar Lounge, only in Las Vegas, y'all.
Yeah, man, that was a beautiful thing to get to check out what that brother has built here in Las Vegas, man. I'm so proud of him. Yeah. I'm proud of what they doing. Make sure y'all go support them. We gonna support them. We gonna continue to support them. Yeah. Man, keep building that coalition, man, the family. You never go against the family, what he said, right?
Exactly. Never go against the family, man. So, yeah, and again, guys, like we said, all of this is coming together, right? And it's going to culminate in April, right? With the Vegas Cigar Week, right? We have events that are planned right now all over the city, right? Different types of events, man. Lots of going on. Apuffaminute will be one of your ambassadors, on that. Like I said, we your plug, man. Just stay tuned to Apuffaminute. We're going to let you know everything that's going down as we get closer to it, right? You know what, man? It's National Cigar Day.
It is.
It's like the end of Black History Month.
It's getting close.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think this was the perfect episode for today, bro.
And we didn't even think about this.
Exactly.
Like,
bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's divine ordinance, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how we roll at a public, shut us down, man. Take us out of here.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. We appreciate y'all. Continue to show us love. Continue to do what you've been doing. We need you to do a little more, though. Make sure you go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to click the bell link so you get the notifications every time we put in that work and put up a new video. Mick doing his thing on the videos, man. Instagram is popping. Keep showing us love on Instagram, commenting, liking, giving us feedback. We need more feedback. We need to know, is there some cigars you want us to smoke? Some drinks you want us to review?
Yeah.
Any of that, man. We need all that feedback. But we appreciate what you've been doing for us.
Right.
Keep doing what you've been doing and keep it up, man. Like I said, just do a little more, give us the feedback so we can make it a better show for you.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Yo, and don't forget, man, on Sundays, man, come out, hang out with us on Sundays if you're here in Las Vegas. Come down to Cork and Thorn, man. The coalition will be out there. We doing what we do, shutting it down from 3 to 8, every Sunday down in Cork and Thorn here in Las Vegas. Feel me?
Absolutely.
All right, guys, until next time, I remain your boy, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker, people.
It's been another Puff-A-Minute Cigars and Conversation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.